Hi, I'm Barbara, founder of January Consulting. I'm a speech-language pathologist and a certified lactation counselor. I've partnered with Baby Boldly to bring you this video, which is part of our full newborn feeding course.
Before we wrap up, I want to provide you with a quick and simple feeding checklist for when your baby arrives. When you take your baby home, your baby will likely want to eat at least every 2 to 3 hours. And that's from when they start to eat to the next time they start to eat. Babies really cue and eat more frequently than this, and not typically on that perfect clock schedule. It's totally normal for babies to eat 12 to 14 times in 24 hours. Cluster feeding is normal. Struggle feeding is not normal, and I recommend you proactively seek help if you feel that you are struggling. Here's a typical recommended feeding schedule for newborns. Every 3 hours, the baby is offered a bottle or the breast. So at 9 a.m. and then at 12 p.m., 3, 6, 9, 12, 3, 6, around the clock. Here's a more typical and realistic version of what happens. Babies eat when they're hungry if we follow their cues. Sometimes their gaps between feeds are a little bit longer than others. Sometimes they cluster feed. And sometimes you think you hear them cooing at night, but really it was a cat outside or a baby owl. There are a lot of first time experiences when baby comes home, and everyone is exhausted from the birth. Most things are just new to us and they're normal as far as acclimating to the first week of life. However, there are a few feeding red flags that I want to list here. I do not expect any of these things, so if you see it, please don't delay in getting help. This is by no means an exhaustive list, and if you give birth at a hospital, the hospital will likely give you another list of red flags. But as it relates to infant feeding, bloody diapers, projectile vomiting, or signs of chronic discomfort or pain after feeds, that might be a distinct cry or never being able to lay baby down, or maybe they can't ever get comfortable. Difficulty breathing, especially turning gray or blue, is not normal. Not enough wet diapers, lethargy or no feeding cues, painful or damaged nipples, yours, not baby's, or anything you find very alarming are a big red flag to please get help quickly. Again, I don't expect these things to happen, but if they do, it's a really big red flag. Signs your baby is getting enough to eat for both breast and bottle feeding babies are they're sleepy, content, and relaxed after they eat. They're gaining and growing appropriately. Babies commonly lose up to 7 to 10% of their weight post birth, depending on how much extra fluid they retained from the delivery, but they should be back to their birth weight by 2 weeks old. Your pediatrician will monitor this, and you can focus on learning the quality feeding skills and the much needed rest you both need after the birth experience. This will support optimal growth. Normal output for the brand spanking new baby is meconium stools and wet diapers for the first 1 to 2 days, and then a transition to 4 to 6 wet diapers a day and 3 to 5 stools a day by day 5 of life. Every baby is unique and guidelines can slightly vary, but if you're not hitting this general mark, then it's a good topic to bring up to the pediatrician for a more detailed conversation. Last but not least, you got this, mama. You aren't expected to know it all. And babies change constantly. But you know what? You still know your baby the best, even on day one.
I hope you found this video helpful. Be sure to check out the rest of the videos in this series. And for more proactive educational materials on how to feed your baby your way and identify red flags early, check out the link below.